I regret marrying him every day, Emma said, laughing lightly as she stirred her wine glass, her friends chuckling around the dinner table. Her tone was playful, supposedly, but something about the way her eyes avoided mine told a different story. I forced a smile, feeling the familiar ache twist in my chest. We'd been married 8 years. I knew her laughs, when they were genuine, when they were forced, and when they were covering something else entirely. The others laughed louder, probably thinking I'd laugh too, that I'd play along. That's what good husbands do, right? Take the joke. Pretend it doesn't sting. But I didn't laugh. I looked at her, really looked, and said quietly, "So do I?" The laughter stopped. The air turned thick enough to choke on. Emma's smile vanished like smoke. That was the first crack. Or maybe it was just when I finally saw the cracks that had been there all along. The next morning, she barely spoke to me, just moved around the kitchen, setting her mug down a little too hard, breathing a little too loud. I watched her from the doorway, wondering how long she'd been somewhere else, in her mind, or maybe in someone else's arms. The signs had been there. The late nights at work, the sudden new perfume, the way her phone stayed face down, always on silent. I told myself not to be paranoid. She was my wife. I trusted her. But trust has a way of turning to ash when doubt creeps in. That night, after she went to bed, I sat on the couch in the dark, staring at her phone on the counter. My heart pounded so hard it almost drowned out my conscience. I told myself I wouldn't look. That love meant believing her. But love also means you deserve the truth. I opened it. The password was the same as always. Our anniversary. That almost made me laugh. At first, I didn't see anything. Just messages about work. Photos of our dog. Group chats with her friends. Then I saw a name I didn't recognize. Ryan. A string of messages. All time-stamped around midnight. Ryan. Wish you were here tonight. Emma. Me too. He's asleep already. Ryan. Does he suspect anything? Emma. No. He never does. The words hit harder than any punch I'd ever taken. My throat went dry. My hands shook. I scrolled further. Pictures, plans, inside jokes. A whole secret life I had no part in. I sat there until the sun came up, staring at the screen, trying to make sense of who she'd become. Or maybe who she'd always been. When she woke up, I was still on the couch, her phone in my hand. Her face drained of color the moment she saw it. "You went through my phone," she whispered. I almost laughed. "That's your first concern?" She didn't answer. Tears welled up in her eyes, but they didn't move me. I cried enough for both of us already. "Who is he?" I asked. My voice was calm. Too calm. "Just someone from work," she said, as if that softened it. I nodded slowly. "Someone from work you've been seeing for months?" Her lips parted, but no words came. "I would have forgiven you for falling out of love," I said quietly. "People change. Feelings fade. But lying? Sneaking around while I slept in the next room? That's something else." She started sobbing then, saying it was a mistake, that it didn't mean anything, that she still loved me. But love doesn't look like this. Love doesn't hide in the shadows. 3 weeks later, she moved out. The silence in the house was deafening at first, but then it started to feel like peace. Sometimes I replay that night at the dinner table in my head. Her laughter, my reply, the moment everything broke open. She thought it was just a joke. But maybe that was the problem. She thought love was something to laugh about. And me? I regret marrying her every day. But I don't regret finally telling the truth.